hopes of identifying her. Investigators say she is white, in her 30s or 40s, with brown hair. She has a yellow sun with a smiley face tattooed on the inside of her right ankle. A local soldier receives a national honor in Washington, D.C. Staff Sergeant Matthew Lavoie of West Greenwich was presented with the Angel of the Battlefield Award today. The 27-year-old says he treated hundreds of soldiers and civilians during his year-long tour in Iraq that ended in 2006. He was even wounded himself when he took shrapnel in the leg. A Yale University student is suing an airline for losing his Xbox. Jesse Mainman says the video game console was taken from his luggage. Now he's asking for $1 million in damages. A U.S. Airways spokeswoman says the airline limits liability for lost luggage to $3,300 a bag.
Coming up on Eyewitness.
Two suspects are behind bars tonight, and two more are still on the run after a shooting last night left one man in the hospital and left Fall River Police with several unanswered questions. Eyewitness News reporter Danielle North is live at the Fall River Police Department and joins us now with more on our top local story. A local business made some noise on Wall Street this afternoon. Officials from West Warwick-based Drive-It Systems helped ring the closing bell on the New York Stock Exchange. Company CEO and North Kingstown.
I'm Mike Montecalvo.
And I'm Erin Kennedy. In just a few moments, Governor Don Carcieri will give his final State of the State address.
Early next year, Governor Carcieri will end his 8 years as leader of Rhode Island. Tonight, the governor will touch on several key issues, including the ongoing job crisis. He'll also talk about supporting small businesses and the future of Rhode Island. I'm going to give you a live look right now as state, city, and town leaders are waiting for the governor to take the podium. Tonight's speech is highly anticipated and comes with support and opposition. The governor will outline proposals for helping small businesses, but initiatives that he announced during previous State of the State speeches have died for lack of support in the Rhode Island General Assembly.
Last year, the governor called for phasing out the state's 9% corporate income tax and replacing it with a cheaper alternative. He said the proposal would draw investors and jobs to Rhode Island, but lawmakers ignored the plan. Part of tonight's speech will focus on his plans for closing an estimated $400 million budget shortfall for the fiscal year starting in July.
Another thing the governor will talk about, how many unemployed Rhode Islanders are out there. At this point, 73,000 Rhode Islanders are without jobs. And he's going to mention that Rhode Island is similar to other states across the country, that jobs will be the #1 focus as he tries to balance the budget.
Mike, just like you mentioned, we actually just got the most updated unemployment numbers for the state. For the month of December, we are now at 12.9%, which is an increase from the month of November. So he is, of course, going to focus on job creation, which we know a lot of small businesses are really looking forward to hearing what he has to say.
Not everyone's going to be in the governor's corner. A contingency of municipal officials are in the House chambers. You're having a live look here at Frank Caprio, who would like to be the next governor of the state of Rhode Island, the Rhode Island General Treasurer right now. There's Patrick Lynch, the Attorney General, who'll also be running in the Democratic primary against Caprio. But a number of mayors will be in the chambers, including Joe Policina from Johnston, Alan Fung from Cranston, Dan McKee from Cumberland, and David Cicilline in Providence, protesting the governor's budget cuts.
Exactly, and we do have reporters in the State House right now who are going to be listening to Governor Carcieri's speech, and we are planning on talking with all of those mayors to hear what they have to say, because as we can well assume, Governor Carcieri is going to be proposing that the municipalities work harder to rein in their spending when we've heard continually that they feel that the governor is asking too much of them. They already feel like they've given up enough. And as you can see, Lieutenant Governor Elizabeth Roberts now walking in to hear the governor's speech, State of the State.
And Lieutenant Governor Roberts is running for re-election. And what they've been doing is the state leaders have been coming in one by one, and now they're waiting for Governor Carcieri to come into the House chambers. This will be historic for the governor, his final State of the State. A former bank executive who became governor now will deliver his final message in House chambers as we await Governor Carcieri's arrival.
And you had mentioned it earlier, Mike, about Mayor Avedisian is in there right now, and we were actually just speaking with him last night about consolidating local resources for municipalities, things like sharing fire, police, and school resources, which Governor Carcieri is a proponent of. He thinks that that will help balance the budget, which, as we mentioned, stands right now at coming in $400 million deficit. So, of course, we're anxious to hear what he has to say to the mayors and, again, to hear what they have to say in protest.
And the mayors of Johnston and North Providence have already started consolidating services. We'll see how far the governor goes, and you can see him entering the House chambers right now with his wife, Sue Kachiri, who's with him a lot of the times and a lot of the events that he goes to. So we're anxiously awaiting to hear how the governor plans to add jobs, raise revenue for the state, cut unemployment. It's a lot on the governor's plate for his final year in office.
And I think we should just add real quickly that we will have continuing live in-depth coverage tonight on Eyewitness News at 10 and 11. Again, we are going to be speaking with local mayors to hear what they have to say. And we do have Eyewitness News political analyst Joe Fleming in the studio right now with us, watching his State of the State to give you his insights.
And as you can see, Governor...
To help. Let's check in with Aaron Kennedy, who's live at the telethon with an update. Aaron?
Karen, I have some fantastic news tonight. We have raised $30,000 tonight. It's an incredible show of generosity from Rhode Islanders, and every dollar is appreciated. I know we're not on air from 7 to 9, but I want to mention, too, that Amica is doing a dollar-for-dollar match from 7 to 9 tonight, up to $10,000. So we would love to keep those phone calls coming in through the night. I'd also like to share some other numbers with you. This is from FEMA. FEMA and the SBA have approved $28 million in loans and grants already. They've had 20,000 applicants to date, and they've inspected 18,000 homes, and they have fewer than 1,000 left to inspect. So there have been a lot of people who have been affected by this flooding, as we all know. I have another heartwarming story to tell you about. If you're watching the 5 o'clock news tonight, Naka Nwosu did a story about a local mother who was forced out of her home with her 2 sons, and they've been living in the Best Western since. And tonight we got a phone call from a woman who said that she'd love to contact that family. She wants to help them directly. And this is the same kind of thing, because any dollar that you give tonight, you are directly helping families who are affected by this flooding. It's not going anywhere else, it's staying in state. And now I'd like to turn to Carl Sherrill, who is with the SBA. Carl, you've been very busy lately, and you've seen a lot of the damage firsthand. Can you tell us why it was important for you to be here tonight?
Well, it's important to man in working disasters how strong the communities are. And I know from being here in Rhode Island for the past couple of weeks how strong the people are that live here.
Carl, thank you very much. We appreciate your time. And we are strong, and we are very generous, so please call those numbers on your screen, 401-854-3636. You can also go to our website at wpri.com. And thank you so much for your generous donations. Karen, back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Back on their feet. And I also wanted to let you know there was a business tonight, Cigar Masters in Providence. They called in. They wanted everybody to know that if you go and buy a cigar this weekend, that they're going to donate 10% of the profits to the flood recovery here tonight. So we're a small state, but we're a generous state. So please give what you can. Again, that number, 1-800-639-0036. You can also go to our website at foxprovidence.com. And please check back in with us later, because we really hope, like Tony said, that we can meet that goal of $150,000. Thank you very much already for your generosity. Mike, back to you.
All right. Of all the Patriots' intensity.
Hi, Mike. That's exactly it. It was a frenzy here today. Everybody moving around, and it's only going to get busier. So as everyone keeps piling into and through the stadium, security is very serious. In fact, even the U.S. Department of Homeland Security is getting involved. As thousands of people, packages, and vehicles file into the University of Phoenix Stadium.
And don't we have to check your information?
Security is at an all-time high.
You know, that's what we're here for. We want to make sure that nothing bad gets into the venue that can harm people.
Roger Meyer with the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol explains everything that goes into keeping the stadium safe.
The skills our officers use day in and day out protecting the border are being applied here protecting this game. So we're real happy to be part of that.
Any weapons or anything like that? No.
That means before this row of trucks can even gain access, the drivers are wanded, their trucks searched and sniffed by bomb dogs, and finally, don't forget the gamma ray scan.
We've had to take a closer look.
And we can't show you exactly what's going on inside that security truck as it scans these trucks, but we can show you an image that it's taken in the past, looking for anything that might be suspicious. Local police are calling this kind of help a powerful and successful coalition.
Not one agency can obviously handle the security that's needed for this kind of event or the events leading up to game day.
And this is the 4th Super Bowl that U.S. Customs has worked. Now moving from security to politics and sports, the two could collide if the Pats win Super Bowl 42. If the New England favorites beat the New York Giants, Boston Mayor Tom Menino says the victory parade would most likely be held on the same day that Massachusetts holds its primary election. Here's the problem. The team will not arrive back in Beantown to have a parade on Monday, but come Wednesday, a number of players, including quarterback Tom Brady, are scheduled to leave for the Pro Bowl in Hawaii. That means the only day to have the parade would be Super Tuesday. Holding the parade on that day would pose a number of concerns. The city is required to assign police officers to all voting precincts, but hundreds more would be required for crowd control during a parade. Along with the excellence and excitement that comes with the Pats continuing their path to perfection, the Better Business Bureau advises sports fans to be on the lookout for scams when buying tickets for the big game. These are some tips that you probably should follow. Know the name, address, and phone number of the business you're buying the tickets from, and be sure to get the details in writing. That includes the price of the tickets and the cancellation policies. And book travel packages through a travel agent. Super Bowl tickets are the hottest tickets to buy right now, and so thieves may try to scam you. And now a good story. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest quarterback of them all? I'd say Tom Brady, but if you guessed that, you might want to guess again. According to a Boston-based online poll, a dating service, Baltimore Ravens backup quarterback Kyle Bowler ranked #1 on the list. Brady came in 7th and finished behind Giants quarterback Eli Manning. I think we should do a recount on that one. And of course, count on Eyewitness News for continuing coverage of the path to perfection. We will bring you live reports from Arizona all week right here on Eyewitness News, plus Super Bowl coverage on Wpri.com. And remember, our sister station Fox Providence is the only place to catch Super Bowl 42. Coverage begins at 2 p.m. on Sunday. And I will be back in less than half an hour to take you behind the scenes inside Media Day, which is just an absolute frenzy. You want to stick around for that. For now, we are live in Glendale. Erin Kennedy, Eyewitness News.
All right, thank you, Erin.
Patrick, we are 2,500 miles away from home right now, but we did find this little club in Arizona that between the screaming, the cheering, and all the jerseys, it feels just like home.
P-A-T-S, Pats, Pats, Pats.
Ever wonder what Patriots Nation looks like in Arizona?
#1 all the way, baby!
Young and old, some tattooed, these Pats fans bleed red, white, and blue.
I'm predicting that the Patriots will totally win.
What is the score going to be?
I think it's going to be about 100 million to 0.
I've been a fan since day one, a season ticket holder since 1963.
And hopefully, knock on wood, because I have to do that, the word perfect will be underneath it on Monday.
They're gonna win.
This club is one of the few actually sanctioned by the Pats, which is why team owners Bob and Jonathan Kraft decided to stop by for a very warm and overwhelming welcome.
We have a wonderful group of fans, and they're very active, and now we got to do our part on Sunday, make them proud to be Patriot fans in Arizona.
It's pretty good. It's pretty awesome. It's great to know that we have this much fan support out here in Arizona.
Even Andre Tippett made the journey. Tippett, a former Pats linebacker who had 100 sacks in his 10-year career, a claim to fame that didn't go unnoticed here. So how do you reward the most rabid Pats fans outside New England? Try 2 tickets to the Super Bowl.
Never won anything, so I just can't believe it.
This is pretty big.
This is awesome. My sister's gonna die.
Rewarding all those rabid Arizona fans. And just to let you know, Andre will find out on Saturday whether he's made it into the Hall of Fame. And of course, we will let you know. For now, we are live in Glendale. Erin Kennedy, Eyewitness News.
All right, Erin, the Media Day madness was today, and when it comes to...
She joins us now live from the University of Phoenix Stadium with more on the NFL experience. Hi, Erin.
Hi, Mike. How you doing? As you know, this entire thing is an experience, but there is actually an officially sanctioned park where today the kids got a chance to see exactly what it would be like to be a professional athlete, and they had a blast.
We come back here, and then we go back.
Welcome to Kids Day at the NFL Experience, where kids get the chance to be a football player. That helmet seems really big.
It is very big because I don't have a big head.
And football players, even #1 quarterbacks like David Garrard, get the chance to be a kid again.
A lot of fun, a lot of fun. You know, it allows me to kind of be a kid again. Right. And I'm really just a big kid anyway.
So part of the whole NFL experience is seeing exactly what it feels like to be a Patriots player. And I got to say, it feels pretty good. Feels real good.
I tried. These are really heavy. I mean, I had a hard time getting it back and forth. Even the volunteers can't help but get involved in the Super Bowl action.
And it's just like one big happy family.
So while these kids learn how to punt, toss, and run,
Now, who are you rooting for the Super Bowl?
Patriots. They're also learning several other important life lessons.
I'm telling them to stay in school, make sure they do that because they're not going to be able to be a professional athlete if they don't, and the grades are very important. But really just to come out here and have fun, you know.
And for the rest of the week, us adults will actually get a chance to live out our football fantasies. Also, Super Bowl 42 here at the University of Phoenix Stadium has a chance for making history. There is a strong chance that this could be the most watched Super Bowl ever. Fox is shooting for a record number of viewers. The most people to watch a Super Bowl was set back in 1996, and that's when the Dallas Cowboys beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. More on the path to perfection. The Patriots are remembering their friend and former teammate Marquise Hill. The defensive lineman and former second-round draft pick died in a jet ski accident in Louisiana last May. Hill was number 91 when he played for the mighty Pats. Hill left behind his fiancée and 2-year-old son. All of the Patriots have been honoring Hill this season by wearing a black circle decal with his number 91 on their helmets. And also, one Foxborough resident is now the proud owner of 2 Super Bowl tickets. His name is Paul Farmer, and he's a firefighter, and he won that raffle. That raffle was sponsored by Patriots Place, which is located right next to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. More than 5,000 people entered the raffle hoping to win. But here is the lucky winner. Paul Farmer will be in Glendale, Arizona Sunday to see the Pats take on the New York Giants, which I am sure will be the game of a lifetime for this diehard fan. And a friendly Super Bowl wager between the mayors of New York and Boston is pitting Manhattan clam chowder against New England clam chowder. Mayor Michael Bloomberg and Mayor Thomas Menino are rooting for their hometown teams in the game between the Giants and the Patriots on Sunday. In the bet, the loser will donate food to charity. If the Patriots win, Bloomberg will send Manhattan clam chowder, pastrami sandwiches, New York pizzas, and lemon ice. If the Giants win, Menino will send New England clam chowder, Dunkin' Donuts coffee, Boston cream pies, and Brigham's ice cream. And if you want to save some money shopping for your Super Bowl 42 party, retailer Walmart is slashing prices 10 and 30% on groceries, electronics, and other products. In addition to the extra discounts, the retailer said it will offer no interest for 18 months on purchases of $250 or more with a Walmart credit card. Now more fun facts about how the Pats and the Giants all fit together for this big picture of the Super Bowl. The showdown between the two teams is the 12th Super Bowl to feature 2 teams that met during the regular season. And this is only the second time that the 2 Super Bowl teams have met in the final game of the regular season. And you may also remember the Giants and the Pats faced off in the final game of this year's preseason. And as you know, the Pats won that game 27-20. Another fact, the Pats have 20 players with Super Bowl experience on their current roster. The Giants only have 3. And finally, Tom Brady is one of 4 players with multiple Super Bowl MVP awards. A lot of stuff going on out here. Mike, what do you think about all that?
Well, Erin, you look pretty good in that football uniform. You going to be able to try any of those games?
Thank you. Oh yeah, no, I was going to try and push those things over, but I didn't want to mess up the kids. Didn't want to show them up or anything, you know.
All right, thanks, Erin Kennedy.
Thanks,
looks
Mike.
like you're having a ball out there in Arizona for Super Bowl 42.
Exactly, and the other thing that we can't complain about is this weather, and I actually wanted to talk to Chief Meteorologist Tony Petrarca about that because, Tony, it's gorgeous. We want to know if that dome's going to be open or closed on Sunday.
Well, right now it looks like Sunday with temperatures in the upper 50s. Erin, when you come back, try to bring some of that milder weather with you. I'll have your local forecast coming up in a few minutes, but in the meantime, we'll send it back to Glendale, Arizona, and Erin Kennedy.
Thanks, Tony. I was actually just working on maybe bringing back a tan. Of course, you can always count on Eyewitness News for continuing coverage of the Pats and their path to perfection. Also, all week, we are going to be bringing you reports live from Arizona right here on Eyewitness News, plus exclusive Super Bowl coverage on Wpri.com. And our sister station, Fox Providence, is the only place to catch Super Bowl 42. Coverage begins at 2 p.m. on Sunday. And of course, I will be back in just under 30 minutes with another phenomenal story. Coming up at 6, these nuns are renting out their convent to fans. It's a great story. You want to stick around for that. For now, though, we are going to send it out to Eyewitness News Jam Cam Traffic with Mike Sheridan. Mike, how are the roads out there in the Ocean State? And I'm Eyewitness News anchor Erin Kennedy live in Glendale, Arizona. A native Rhode Islander who's keeping the Pat spirit alive and well right here in the Valley of the Sun. That story and more coming up.
Watching his son play for the Giants. Hi, Erin.
Hi, Mike. You know that blood is thicker than water, but it's also thicker than football alliances, which is why Steve Diazzi, who's a former Pats player, has no problem cheering for his son Zach, who plays for the Giants.
And was actually on the field as a ball.
You know him as a former Patriot, or maybe from WEEI in Boston, but on Sunday, Steve Diazzi will be wearing another hat, father.
I told him to first take care of business, which is the football game, and do everything you have to get ready for it. But everything happens so fast around here during Super Bowl week. I told him to take a step back, enjoy it.
You see, the apple doesn't fall that far from the tree. His son Zach plays linebacker and long snapper for the Giants, the same position his father played for the Pats back in '94 and '95. But if you're wondering whether Steve is torn about which team to root for,
And everybody in New England, even though I've been such a big Pats fan over the last 10 years and covering them, almost everybody has understood exactly why I'm rooting for the Giants.
I was just saying, everyone seems to forget my old man won a ring in the 1990 Super Bowl with the Giants. So I think we need to focus more on that.
the two are really close. But here's something you might not know. They're also really competitive.
One time we were racing down the mountain on skis, and he blew by me, and I lost my composure and took a big tumble and broke 3 ribs because I was trying so hard to keep up with him.
And in case you're wondering, Steve told me that Zach didn't stop. He didn't even look back. In other Patriots news, some Patriots fans are a cut above the rest when it comes to aligning themselves with their team and the sport. Meet one of the biggest Pats fans. His name is Mike Schuster. He won earlier this morning. He had his head shaved, as you can see, at the WHJY studios. The stylist formed a mohawk with the rest and painted it silver with the Pats logo. Schuster was voted Patriots Fan of the Year back in 1999, and he is headed west for Super Bowl 42 tomorrow. Some die-hard Pats fans still don't have those tickets, and some are going to great lengths to make it here to Arizona. In Weymouth, Massachusetts, one man is offering an apartment for 1 year rent-free in exchange for 2 tickets to the Super Bowl. So far, Richard DeLuca hasn't had any takers, but he is willing to up the offer if the Pats win. He says he will also throw in a high-def TV into the deal. And there are still plenty of fans from southern New England who are heading out here to Arizona, and we caught up with some of them at TF Green earlier today.
How did you score tickets?
Well, we're working on that. It's not quite done yet, but we're going to stay at his house down there. We booked it a few months ago and hoping we'll get lucky down in Phoenix.
I've got half my family that are Giant fans and half my family that are New England fans.
Pats by a lot, Pats by a lot.
And of course, we can't wait to see them out here in Arizona. Mike, I wish you could be out here. It's beautiful today.
It looks great. Erin, we see the people leaving Green Airport. You've already seen a lot of fans from New England already, right?
Exactly. Actually, as the week progresses, of course, we're seeing more Pats fans. We were walking around downtown today. We saw Pats fans with the jerseys on, luggage still in hand from the airport. I talked to them. I asked them, so are you going to the game? They said, no, we don't have tickets yet, but we just had to be here. In fact, I just found out that Kevin, our director, is also coming, so we can't wait to see Kevin, too.
All right.
And also, Mike, we will be bringing you the coverage live all week from Arizona out here in Glendale, right here on Eyewitness News. Coming up at 6, I'll have details on the madness on Radio Row. If you haven't heard of it, it's a great story you definitely want to see. For now, we are live in Glendale. Erin Kennedy, Eyewitness News.
The Super Bowl Radio Row experience.
Patrick, as you know, Radio Row is this huge room where hundreds of people are broadcasting their show live. It is pure energy, and sometimes it's hard not to get in on the action.
KTBB, we're at Super Bowl 42.
KTCK,
You're in the radio
WHOO, ESPN Orlando.
Welcome to the 3-ring circus that is Radio Row, best described by the rabble-rousers themselves.
Like they're fighting for food. And there's literally like people fighting. It's great. It's fun to just sit at the table and watch your producer. Like we brought a guy who looks like a bowling ball, right? So he's like running people over.
And everybody's fighting to get the A-list guys on. You know, the Donovan McNabbs, the Troy Aikmans, whoever comes walking by, and it's a fight.
bunch of fat, pompous men who think they know more than. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's a lot of fun. On Radio Row, it's a lot of chaos. You know, it really is a whole bunch of fluff this week.
You probably recognize these local personalities: Andy Gresh and Scott Zolak from 790 The Score, and Pete Shepard, a native Rhode Islander. But don't forget the quote-unquote celebrities. Jared from Subway.
It's pretty nuts. This is my second year doing it, obviously here with Subway. I'm from Indianapolis, so last year I was, in my Colts jersey and all that.
Or that cute little girl who was in the game plan with The Rock. Who are you rooting for the Super Bowl?
Patriots. Yeah.
And the sports legends themselves: Jerry Rice, Shannon Sharp, Lynn Swan, countless others. It was packed. It is really tight space here on Radio Row with affiliates from all over the country here. In fact, 3,500 media have been credentialed all ready to be here right now. Wild enough that even these guys from Dallas asked me if I'd like to get behind the mic for a while.
Do you work in Providence?
I do. No, it's kind of awesome. I'd love to give a shout out.
One of the Super Bowls I did cover, I actually did see a fist fight between two producers. Oh, it was the best day of my life. I thought it was the most coolest thing ever. I'm like, I come to Super Bowl every year.
So who knew that chaos could be so much fun? We had a blast out there. For now, we are live in Glendale, Arizona. Aaron Kennedy, Eyewitness News. Patrick, back to you.
All right, Aaron, thanks. You survived. That's great. Hi, Aaron.
Steve, hey Steve, it's so awesome. We've already shown you all the chaos here on the ground, from Media Day to Radio Row. So we wanted to give you an exclusive, peaceful view from above, a view that even the NFL couldn't pass up.
Hi guys, how you doing?
It's just another clear afternoon here at Glendale, Arizona.
And it's just awesome because, it's like the weather's great.
And Kevin Flanagan is busy at his day job, flying this hot air balloon for his client, a little corporation called the NFL. Here at the Super Bowl, you see a lot of advertising, but this one really goes above and beyond.
The NFL had these two balloons built for the Super Bowl because we fly all over town, and there's so much drive time traffic, and it's just a fun, friendly way to broaden the impact of the Super Bowl being in town.
You already know the Super Bowl is big business. 150,000 visitors, 200 million tourist dollars pumped into the economy. It's a business opportunity the NFL couldn't pass up.
The excitement over the Super Bowl has been phenomenal in town, and it's probably one of the biggest events that happens anywhere, wherever it goes. And just everybody's in a good mood. It's kind of like Christmas, everybody's in a real good mood and smiling and ready for the big game.
And we just couldn't pass up the chance to bring you this exclusive bird's eye view of Glendale, of the University of Phoenix Stadium, and of downtown Phoenix. A calm, clear view of what will be a very chaotic town. And with this altitude comes clarity, which is why Kevin already knows exactly what's going to happen on Sunday.
I think New England's got it sewed up.
And miles away from where we took off, when we landed, even these kids on the ground agreed.
You guys want the Patriots to win? Yeah! It was an amazing experience. And in case you're wondering, the hot air balloon will not be flying during game day. There's actually a 30-mile no-fly zone around the stadium. And also, we were out there tonight. While the Patriots are getting ready for their game, hundreds of fans are unwinding right now at this huge block party. 7,000 fans are out there right now. The bash is being held at a local restaurant called The Vine and is sponsored by the official Arizona chapter of the New England Patriots fan club. And what they're passing out there, I want to show you a quick view of this. It is election year, Brady Moss in 08. This is for the SUPA fans. Notice the AH there. And also, speaking of local fans, we know a lot of people are getting ready to head on out here to Arizona. So we caught up with them at TF Green. Back home, our cameras catching up with all these excited fans, proudly decked out in their Patriots attire, so everyone would know who they're rooting for when they're playing touchdown. Some people we talked to are still hoping to score some tickets, though, while others are just looking forward to a great game.
It's not quite done yet, but we're going to stay at his house down there. We booked it a few months ago and hoping we'll get lucky down in Phoenix with some tickets.
Too close to call based on the last game, so I'm not even going to make a judgment. I've got half my family that are Giant fans and half my family that are New England fans.
And so don't go anywhere because we have much more coverage of Super Bowl 42 coming up, including how
Powerful Category 3 hurricane.
Earl's expected to start churning to the north, but first he's expected to cause some major problems for North Carolina.
Now these are
In fact, just moments ago, Massachusetts Governor Devon Patrick declared a state of emergency. Meanwhile, in New Bedford today, Mayor Scott Lang says his city is ready for Earl, and he's asking everyone to be prepared. Tonight, 2 men charged in connection with the murder of a Taunton man last month are being held behind bars tonight. 29-year-old Richard Carrero Forbes of Taunton was arraigned this morning in the murder of his 59-year-old father-in-law, Francis Douglas Carrero. Carrero Forbes was ordered held without bail. 23-year-old Justin Bierce is also charged. Police say Bierce was an accessory to the crime. Earl is the first